Freeze some salt and you will cripple all the negativity that surrounds you. Not only that, you will return this energy to its origin. This ancient ritual is known by few, but its power is undeniable. From the moment you freeze some salt, you will begin to feel free from the influence of negative people, enchantments, and even the evil eye. If you are ready to protect yourself and return any evil intentions to their starting point, follow these simple steps. Take a small amount of salt and prepare yourself for this process that is as simple as it is effective. First, you will need sea salt, preferably coarse and as unprocessed as possible. If you can't find rock salt, don't worry, even the common salt that you use in the kitchen will work. In addition, you will need a plastic bag that can be closed well. It could be one of the ones you use to store food or one recycled from a store. It doesn't matter if it has a design or logo on it. The important thing is that it is as airtight as possible. You will understand later why this detail is crucial. You will also need a small piece of white paper without any designs or relics. It doesn't need to be big. One piece is enough. Make sure to manually remove the edges of the paper, as this symbolizes the elimination of any obstacles or blockages that are preventing the positive flow in your life. This is an important detail, as many people are unaware that each step of this ritual has a deep meaning. When everything seems to be going wrong, when we feel that money is not growing, that conflicts and arguments are becoming more frequent in our relationships, or that our projects fail for no apparent reason, it is a clear indication that we could be surrounded by people with negative intentions. Sometimes, these dense energies can be the result of envy or even some kind of flood. But how can we protect ourselves from these influences? In many cases, we cannot physically distance ourselves from these people because they are part of our daily lives. They may be close family members, longtime friends, co-workers, or even neighbors. This makes it difficult to confront this negative energy directly. But there is a way to protect ourselves without the need for direct confrontation. Although you may have to spend time with these people, you can protect yourself from their negative influence and begin to notice improvements in your projects, your well-being, and your prosperity. When everything seems to be going wrong, it is time to act and take measures to protect ourselves. It is our right and, even more, our responsibility to do so. This is not dark magic or witchcraft with bad intentions. On the contrary, it is a positive energy work, a white work, which seeks to re-establish the natural order of energies. If someone has disturbed your well-being through bad intentions, you must redirect that energy back to its source. A simple and powerful way to do this is through this ancient technique that I bring to you today. Once you have removed the edges of the paper, it is important to do it manually. Make sure that no metal objects, such as bowls, come into contact with it. This is key because we want this paper to be as pure as possible, ready to absorb and collect everything that is causing pain and suffering. Now, I will explain what you need to do next. Find a black pen. This is important, since black has a special meaning. It symbolizes the end of a cycle, the closing of a stage. If you are here watching this video, it is probably because you feel that there are people who have thrown negative energy at you, creating chaos and imbalance in your life. Using the color black in this process will help you to break the cycle, to definitively close this negative bond that is affecting you. Black is the color of closure, of mourning, of farewell, and that is why it is so suitable for this purpose. In addition, you need some water. It can be water from the key. It doesn't need to be from a special source. These are all the elements you need today to keep negative people away from you, to get rid of the evil eye and even possible witchcraft work that has been sent to you. Get ready, because the power of this ritual lies in its simplicity and in your intention when carrying it out. Now, I want you to write in the comments, "I am protected, I am a being of light." By doing this, you are already taking the initiative and creating an energetic barrier so that nothing and no one can negatively affect you. Remember, intention is the first step towards protection. Now that we have reached this point, let's begin with the first step of the ritual. On your piece of paper, you will write the names of people, situations, thoughts, or things that you feel are affecting you at this moment. Don't rush. Take the time necessary to reflect and let out everything that is affecting you. Write calmly, without pressure, because rituals must be performed with patience and concentration. By doing so, you are beginning to reject all negativity, eliminating it from your life and mind and clearing your energetic space. Start by writing down the names of those people who you suspect have had a negative impact on your life. Perhaps a difficult boss, a conflictive coworker, or even a neighbor who bothers you. And if you don't know the name of that person, write down a description that clearly identifies him or her. For example, the neighbor on the third floor or the colleague at the office who always argues. The important thing is that when you read this description, the image of that person comes to your mind immediately. This will help you connect directly with the energy you want to clear and protect yourself from. Another thing I will tell you is that you can write down physical and emotional pain. It could be headaches, migraines, or headaches. Often, of course, when we go through such negative situations, through so many problems, this can cause us physical problems. So, write down each and every one of them, even insomnia, lack of sleep, etc. Don't limit yourself. If you need a whole folio, go ahead, don't worry. Write down everything. Go out. This is also an emotional exercise, and what we are doing is removing everything that blocks us. Okay, I am going to write down the following in example mode: enemies. I'm going to generalize because, besides, I highly recommend that you do this in case you do not know exactly who is sending bad energy, but rather that you have certain suspicions that you have negative people around you or that they are envious. Enemies. Then you could put, for example, Juanita, in example mode. Migraine. Let's suppose that I am going through problematic circumstances that give me a migraine. A backache, as I told you. You can also write down insomnia, anxiety, sadness. These will be mine. Enemies. Juanita. Let's suppose that Juanita is my neighbor and makes my life impossible. Migraine, backache, insomnia, anxiety, sadness. See what a versatile ritual, which will not only remove enemies, but will also remove any discomfort. Now what we are going to do is fold it 3 times. It is important to do it this way, visualizing how all this evil is concentrated in this small piece of paper. And you are going to do it outwards, because this symbolizes withdrawal. 1, 2, and 3. It is important that you visualize how all the evil that surrounds you is absorbed into the paper as you fold it. Now, what we are going to do is put the paper inside the plastic bag. Let's put it inside, calmly and carefully. And once you have done this exercise, you will load it with salt. Why is it important to cover it with salt? Because salt, as you well know, is a great purifier and is what will be responsible for absorbing the bad energies. While you do this, you have to repeat something, and it is, all evil returns to its origin and nothing can affect me. All evil returns to its origin and nothing can affect me. You will repeat 3 times until you have completely covered your paper. Make sure it is well covered. Now, I would really like you to activate all this energy. Write down in the comments, all evil returns to its origin and nothing can affect me. Write it down now. You will be decreeing, you will be taking action, and you will inevitably be attracting these protective energies into your life. Now it is time to neutralize the bad energies. And how are we going to do this? Just using a little water. We will dilute the salt with just a few drops of water. It's not very big, it doesn't fill it because it's just about neutralizing everything that's written down in our intentions. Then, carefully, you're going to add a little water until the salt, as you can see, is completely heated. Now, what you're going to do is close your bag tightly. If it's airtight, you're simply going to do it like this. And if it's a regular bag, simply make a very strong knot and that's it. Now comes the most important moment. Put it in your freezer. It's important that no one handles it, so put it in a well-hidden place. I recommend that it be at the bottom of everything. When you put it in this specific area of your freezer, it's important that you decree a very powerful affirmation, which is what will close this entire cycle of protection. And you're going to say it 3 times. Freeze all evil, the evil eye and bad energies. They will stay here until they completely disappear. Close your freezer and forget about it for at least 7 days. An important and fundamental rule for this to give you the best results is to do it with positivity. Never do this from resentment, anger, or frustration, because these are very dangerous energies. And remember that everything we emit always comes back to us, and often comes back in a multiplied form. So cover your back and try to do this at a time when you feel elevated and powerful. It doesn't matter what time, day of the week, or moon phase. Do it when you feel it, but be strong, powerful, and positive. Promise me that you will do it this way. I want you to see results. When will you feel the first changes? You will notice them immediately. As soon as this starts to freeze, you will see how your enemies begin to stop bothering you. You will feel an improvement in your physical and emotional health. You will recover your well-being, which is something very important. Even if up until now you were very anxious or had trouble falling asleep, all of that will disappear from your life. You will start sleeping like a baby. But the most positive and noticeable changes will appear once 7 days have passed and you have removed it from your freezer. Here comes the real point. When 7 days have passed, you will take your bag of salt and throw it away carefully without opening it. Do not touch it. Touch it as little as possible. You will throw it in a freezer far from your home. It can be a public freezer, but it should be very far from your home, as far away as possible. This way, we will ensure that these negative energies do not return to us. And now, a final trick that will enhance this ritual. Because here it is also about reprogramming our subconscious mind. Every time you feel negative energies coming towards you, or you feel vulnerable in the face of these enemies, open your freezer and feel how all this negative energy is trapped in the ice, with no possibility of it escaping. This will strengthen the results of this ritual and, in addition, it will protect you. As you can see, this ancient technique is simple, but extremely powerful. I encourage you to try it now, if you feel vulnerable in the face of negative energies, toxic, dense people, or those who vibrate very low. Cover your back. It is your right and you should do so. If you don't, on the contrary, you will start to create chaos in your life. So, if at this moment you feel that you have a bit of bad luck and misfortune, try this ancient technique and you will see how the results will surprise you. I hope with all my heart that you liked it. If so, don't forget to share it. Share it on your social networks. Remember that when we help others improve their lives, the universe inevitably returns these blessings to us, and often in a multiplied way. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I'll be waiting for you tomorrow with a very powerful video for you.